Hello dear students. After completing our chapter number 4, chemical kinetics, now today we are starting our new chapter number 2, solutions. What do you mean by solutions? We know that solute plus solvent will give solution. Which substance present in a solution in a less amount is known as solute, and which substance present in a large amount in solution is known as solvent. When solute and solvent mix with each other, then the solution will form. The definition of solution in a simple way: mixture containing two or more pure substances. This mixture is also known as homogeneous mixture. We will discuss it in a later portion. In daily routine life, solutions are very important for us in various form. Here, various example. First example is brass. Brass is the mixture of copper and zinc. You can remember by Kunj. Second example is German silver. German silver is a mixture of nickel, copper and zinc. You can remember by Nikunj. And the third example is bronze. Mixture of Sn, you can say stainless or tin, and copper. So you can remember by Tinku. Brass is Kunj, German silver is Nikunj, and bronze is Tinku. These are the three short key for remembrance of solvent and solute composition. Now, in water, we know that many types of impurities are there: calcium, magnesium, fluoride. But when the amount of fluoride exceeds, then it can be damage to our teeth portion. So 1 ppm fluoride in water prevents tooth decay. Prevention till 1 ppm. More than 1 ppm, suppose 1.5 ppm cause tooth mottled, and higher ppm of fluoride is very poisonous. This fluoride is used in a rat killer medicine. So fluoride is a very poisonous, more than 1 ppm. So this is the basic examples of solution. In our daily routine life, we use many types of solution. The solution of sugar, solution of NaCl, salt. When one solute and one solvent is present in solution, those solutions are known as binary solutions. So today we are going to discuss about binary solution. Binary solution means one solute and one solvent. When this solute and solvent mix with each other, so that is called binary solution, and also known as homogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture means when solute and solvent are mixed with each other, the formation is uniform throughout the solution. We cannot separate those both elements again without any physical method. So this is known as binary solution, and we are going to discuss types of binary solutions. There are major three types of solution. First is gaseous solution, second one is liquid solution, and third one is solid solution. These three major category, when we are discussing gaseous solution, then your solvent portion is fixed as gas. When we are talking about liquid solution, then your solvent must be liquid. Means the large quantity is based on this type of solution. Here solid is in a large quantity, so those solutions are known as solid solutions. Solvent will change according to gas, liquid and solid. Suppose our first example is solute is gas and solvent is also gas, but this gas is present in a large amount and this gas is present in a small amount. So example is mixture of O2 and N2, or you can say air simply. When our solute is liquid and solvent is gas, so the another example is CHCl3 means chloroform mixed with nitrogen gas. So we can say that mixture of chloroform and air. Solid and gas, camphor in N2 gas. Camphor is evaporated in air portion. So this is the example of solute taken as solid and solvent taken as gas. Now another portion which is known as liquid solutions. When our solute is gas, so you can say that oxygen is dissolved in water, or in other example carbon dioxide is mixed with water, or we can say that when this CO2 is dissolved in water portion, those example is known as soda water. When liquid plus liquid, both liquids are mixed with each other, so the ethanol plus H2O, we know the example of beer, and ethanol is known as alcohol, and the percentage of this alcohol is taken in percentage V by V, volume by volume ratio. When your solute is solid and solvent is liquid, this category is mainly used in our houses. Glucose means sugar plus water, or you can say that NaCl plus water, solid dissolved into liquid portion. The third category is solid solution. When your solute is gas and solvent is solid, the example is H2 in palladium. Palladium is a metal rod and hydrogen is in a gaseous format which is absorbed on upper surface of the palladium metal. Suppose this is my palladium rod and hydrogen gas is deposited on the metal surface. This process is known as adsorption. The second example, liquid plus solid solvent. We know that in our chapter number 3, in a dry cell, there is a amalgam is used. So the amalgam of mercury and sodium is known as liquid plus solid. Example, solid plus solid, small amount of copper is dissolved in more amount of gold. This category is used for the formation of gold ornaments. When the 24% or 24 karat gold is considered, there is an absence of copper, but in 22 karat gold some amount of copper is added into gold section because of the stability of ornament which are using by us in a daily routine life. So this is the most important table for your 1 or 2 mark questions, and this also can be asked in a 3 mark, that types of solution or types of binary solutions. Okay, now our next topic is solubility. What is the meaning of solubility? Solubility of substance is its maximum amount that can be dissolved in a specific amount of a solvent. suppose we are taking water as our solvent. After that we have to decide our solute. When we are adding small amount of NaCl in a water solvent, all the quantity of NaCl is dissolved. Again we are adding a pinch of NaCl. So this process is continue till the maximum amount of solute is dissolved in solvent. So that is known as solubility. Now solubility of a solid and gases in a liquid medium. In a first theory, solubility of a solid in liquid. When solid is added into solvent and increasing the concentration in solution, so this process is known as dissolution. Again, when any solute is added into the solvent and increasing the concentration in solution is known as dissolution. When we are adding our solid in a solution portion or in a solvent portion, then the solid particles are collide with each other and separated out from the solution. This process is known as crystallization. When we are adding the solid into the solvent portion, the solid molecules or solid particles are collide with each other and separated out from the solution portion. This process is known as crystallization. We are taking one example in a solid section. NaCl is added into water. It can be dissolved very easily, but in some cases there is no formation of solution. Suppose the example of anthracene. If we adding this anthracene in H2O, there will be no dissolution and NaCl is easily soluble in water. So what is the case? This NaCl is a polar substance, Na plus and Cl minus. This water is also polar solvent, H plus and OH minus. So we can say that like material is dissolved like, or you can say that polar solute is easily dissolved in a polar solvent. But in second case, the anthracene is a non-polar solute. When we are adding non-polar solute to the polar solvent, there is no formation of any type of solution. So we have to take the example of anthracene into benzene. At that time the formation of solution takes place. So we can say that non-polar solute is easily dissolved in non-polar solvents. Okay. Now suppose we are adding this NaCl to the benzene. Again the same case, polar solute does not dissolve in non-polar solvents. So we can say that polar is dissolved in polar and non-polar is dissolved in non-polar. Okay. So this is the theory of solid in liquid portion. Now in this solid into liquid portion, we are going to discuss the effect of temperature. Suppose in this beaker we are taking small amount of water and we are adding any type of solute inside the beaker, some percentage of solute will dissolve at a room temperature, but when we are going to increase the temperature of this beaker, when the increase in temperature, the solubility of solid will also increase. So we can say that when we increase the temperature, the solubility of a solid will increase into the solvent. So if we down the temperature, the solubility will affect by the decreasing in temperature. In another case, we are going to discuss about the effect of pressure, but on solid material there is a no effect of any type of pressure. So this theory is discussed in solubility of gas into liquid. Solubility of gas in liquid. In this case, gas is filled in a one beaker. This is our solvent portion. Above on this height, there is a presence of a piston, hydraulic piston. Gaseous molecules are moving on the solvent surface. Some of these particles are dissolved in this solvent portion. We can say that the space between solvent and piston is large. So the molecules have the free space to moving inside the beaker. But if we take another beaker, this is our solvent portion. Now the piston is pressurized by quantity of a weight. We are putting weight on the piston. The piston will leave its original position and upper side to lower side. So these molecules have very low space for the moving in beaker. So these molecules have to be dissolved in this solvent portion. So we can say that if we increase the pressure on gases, so these moving particles are now dissolved in large quantity in our solvent portion because the area is now very small. If we increase the pressure by weightage, if this piston is continuing to goes down position, then these all particles have to dissolve in this beaker. And in a reverse direction, if we are removing these weights, the solubility of gas will decrease. These gaseous molecules are leave the portion of solvent and again moving towards the upper direction. So we can say that increase in pressure, increase in solubility. If we increase the pressure, the solubility will increase in a gaseous category. And if we remove the pressure, so down the pressure, the solubility will also decrease. Okay. Now the solubility of gas is discussed by one scientist. The scientist named as Henry. So we are going to discuss Henry's law. Henry said that the gas will dissolve in a solvent portion proportionally. Proportionally means any gaseous solubility is directly proportional to the mole fraction of that gas. See, the Henry's law is written as P varies X. X is mole fraction and P is pressure. So the statement of Henry said that the solubility of a gas is directly proportional to the applied vapor pressure. If we increase the pressure, the solubility will increase. If we decrease the pressure, solubility will decrease. The solubility is now known as mole fraction. Because the solubility high, then the mole fraction is also high. Solubility is low, at that time mole fraction is also low. So P is directly proportional to X. P is equal to KH into X. This proportional sign is converted into equal to and the KH is added. This KH is known as Henry's constant. Henry said that when we plot the graph of vapor pressure to mole fraction or solubility, the graph is in a straight line. If we increase the pressure, the solubility will increase. Again we increase the pressure, solubility is also increased. In the same way, this graph is always in a straight position. We can understand by this figure. Suppose this is my first pressure. At that time the solubility is low. I am increasing this much pressure, this much solubility will increase. Again I am increasing the pressure. Suppose this is my higher pressure. At that time the solubility is also increased by this quantity. So we can say that P is directly proportional to X by this sloping graph. If we find out the slope of this graph, this slope value is near to Kx. From this graph we can calculate the value of Henry's constant, that is Kh. This Kh is affected by the temperature. If we increase the temperature, the value of Kh will increase and the solubility of gas is decreased, because the gas, when we are increasing the temperature, gas will collide with other particles and moving towards upper direction. So if we decrease the temperature, Kh will decrease and solubility will increase. So we can say that temperature will affect the Henry's constant. So this is the normal theory of Henry's law, and Henry gives some applications in our daily routine life. Applications of Henry. In a first application, the example of soda water. In soda water, the gas is pressurized and filled into the sealed bottle. So that pressure is also proportional to the solubility. If the higher pressure is applied over the water, so more quantity of CO2 will dissolve into the H2O portion. So this soda water is the best example to understand the Henry's law. In a second application, scuba divers. When scuba divers dives into the sea portion, the maximum quantity of oxygen is dissolved into the sea water. When scuba divers goes deeper inside the sea, they have to take that concentrated air into its nose. When this concentrated air is mixed with the blood of scuba divers, they feel nervous and the pressure is increased in intravenous veins of scuba divers. When they are leaving the deeper side and moving upside, at that time the level of concentrated air is decreased. When scuba diver is coming upper side, at that time the lighter air is going inside the blood. So there is a formation of air bubble or a nitrogen gas in scuba diver's vein, and this disease is known as bands. This disease bands means the air bubble is forming inside the blood and it can be dangerous for the higher blood pressure. In a third application, for climbers or mountain climber, we know that on our land surface there is thick air. When we are going to mountain portion, the air is lighter. When this type of air is taken by the climber, so it fills the lack of oxygen. There is no proper oxygen on higher side. At that time, these climbers cannot think properly, and this disease is known as anoxia. In anoxia, climbers feeling the lack of oxygen and they cannot think properly and feeling anxiety or nervousness on very high position. So this is the three application. First is for soda water, second one is for scuba divers, and third one is for climbers. The solution of scuba divers band disease, now in a latest trend, the bottle which is taken by scuba divers into the sea, the oxygen level is now increased to 32% and the nitrogen portion is decreased into the bottle section, because when scuba divers comes upper side, already the nitrogen gas will taken by the scuba divers, but the oxygen is on a lower side. So the increase the value of oxygen into the bottle of a scuba diver is around 32.1%. So this is the total theory of Henry's law and give its application. Okay, thank you.